Welcome back TBF fans. Today as always we're going to go deep dive and go straight into it. Now today is the trade route tournament. It's quite an important one. I made a couple of videos so far, but from March there will always be now changes from going forward. I already made a video before that. Hopefully you guys watched that one because it really talks about where Skull Players has moved forward with changes that are happening in Total Battle. And there are changes. Now you haven't been hearing it for your clan leaders or supervisors, but for those who are just new and just joined the game, you may not feel it as much because you don't know what's been going on from back then to now and how much has shifted from 2025 to 2026. But more than differently, that shift has changed dramatically between November and March. It's very, very big. Anyway, check out that video. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. But besides that, every video from this point onwards, I will make some increment messages regarding to that video because there are now changes for every tournament from here on onwards. From here on onwards, anything that's going to be brand new from the way these tournaments are approached, from those little changes that will really cause a hate or like or whatever you want to feel about it, but you need to understand how this works. So let's talk about it. So now is Trade Route Tournament. In the Trade Route Tournament, what is this about? Let's go deep dive where it starts off with. As we know, the Trade Route Tournament is all about pretty much hunting your mercs. That becomes a lot easier, so therefore you better use it for the next 7 days. Then you can compete in every single tournament to gain the valor and the CP that you're after. We know that, right? We already know that. But what you don't know are the changes now that are happening since March. Now what we notice here, back in the day, Erin will always be our girl, right? She'll still be able to march the full 14 hours anywhere and everywhere. And of course you don't want to do that because you want to restrict yourself with the golden rule of making sure that you're not going past a 3-hour march. Because that way when you're going a 3-hour march and you use your speed ups, right? So you guys, if you want to use speed ups, just to make sure you understand, especially for those who are new, I understand for you guys who are older, just stay quiet there guys because this is for the new guys, all right? So be fair with them too. When we use march speed ups, we use both the 50% and 66%, okay guys? Quite important that you can only earn your march, you can actually purchase this through your packs, but at the same time, you can actually earn this for those who are trying to play freely. You can actually go and purchase this in your tournaments under Triumphal Challenges, under Shop. So when you go to your shop, guys, you can see here, if you just scroll across, your 66% speed ups. So as long as you compete in every single tournament that there is, you better earn Triumphal coins. That'll earn you to unlock these items. Now you know this. Now always keep count, guys, of the days you have left to use your points because you tend to forget at the end of it. Now you're not always going to be advised by your supervisor and your leaders. It's going to be more on you to remember to spend that. So in knowing this case, guys, remember to always use this at the end of especially when you reach near the end, to spend your Triumphal coins because it will not carry on to the next Triumphal challenge, which is the next month. In fact, guys, it will always disappear for each month period that you win. So this is for those who are new, just remember that. Remember, guys, also that take note, spend it on collecting your march speed ups 66%, only if you haven't already spent it on getting the watchtower or your shield of peace if you haven't already received it. And of course, you want to manage to get these 2 packs, which is your bonus sets, which is absolutely excellent to give you extra health, extra strength, extra CP, and also little extra bonuses to assist your account. So that's very handy. And of course, for those who use a gold pass, you ultimately want to receive the city appearance that you want to gain. Now we are off track a little bit, but that was important to mention. So let's go back to where we're supposed to be talking about. We are doing everything here about the Trade Route Tournament. And there have been major changes to this tournament. Let's deep dive and take a look at it. Erin can still walk in it, but there has been now a clear restriction to how far you can walk. You find that your restriction is now at 270 meters, which I think it counts for probably about 2 blocks above kingdoms around each of your kingdoms. Now, if you happen to be playing with these new changes, which you are going to be, that means that you're restricted at 270 meters for each kingdom that you're surrounding. So every kingdom has its 270 meter radius for those who do not use Erin. So that means your march is limited to that range. So what does that mean? Let's pretend that you're sitting at this far end of the map, Kingdom 245. Your restriction is at 270 meters if you don't happen to have Erin, so you can only travel to a certain distance. But let's go across the map on the other end. Let's go much further up. So if we go much further up from here, let's say Kingdom 202. 202 will be restricted to the same limitations as someone's down below at Kingdom 300. So what does that mean if two kingdoms collide at both ends? Well, because of the restricted barrier, this means these two kingdoms will never ever associate each other, and what you're surrounded by, they're the only kingdoms that you can attack. But anything that's in between now becomes a void where no matter how you see it, even if you see it on the chats, you cannot be involved. That void in between is now a void for everywhere you go. That's the new changes Total Battle has put forward to, and it has caused a rift between a lot of players and a lot of hate and a lot of problems. You're also going to find that because of that, it's going to cause you another distinct problem, meaning that when you actually go chase down other particular mercs through the Merc Exchange tournaments, one, you can't go and collect it because you're in restrictive zone areas, but two, you're going to find yourself that the cost of mercs now is actually more expensive. Yes, my friends, mercs now is not as cheap as it was before. It never really was ever cheap to begin with honesty, and the higher the accounts, you need to have a lot more silver to bank up. Now, I have about 6 billion silver, so I can afford all of them, but for those who happen to be medium or small players, you'll find that mercs that you used to purchase at a certain price is a lot more than it was before. You're also going to be earning a lot less mercs than you did before. The mercs that you have, that let's say for 1,000 mercs, you have to pay a lot more to get them. If you have to pay for 500 mercs, you have to pay a lot more for it. It's now very money hungry because what my friends are there, what they're trying to do here, they're trying to make you buy the packages. They're trying to make you buy all their beasts, their forms in here, because they're more focusing now more than ever on their wallet. So this is something that's very concerning. So if you have issues here, guys, like I said before in my previous video there, you need to voice it up to their main Facebook page here. You need to send a message to their support Total Battlecom, and it really is dependent on all of you players to complain about it if you want some real change. If you don't, then they're going to remain doing exactly what they're doing. Besides that, going back to here, you'll be not only earning a lot less now mercs for your purchases of silver than it was back then, you still be able to collect the amount of mercs. It's also a lot harder because now the restrictions and zones, which now I've spoken about, if you don't have Aaron. So if you happen to have other normal heroes, you're now going to be marching, especially if you're only having these regular heroes, you'll be now marching in there with basically, well, with 270 meter radius restriction, and those void zone areas where even if you go into your main chat groups about to collect mercs, still have validation, but at the same time it doesn't have enough strength as it did before because of these void zone areas. So playing the trade route tournament nowadays is very, very restrictive, much more harder to gain. A lot of people are getting quite cranky about it because the timing it takes to collect, it's so much harder than it was before. So if you don't have a Merc Exchange tournament, so I've talked about this particular one on my channel, so I advise you to jump on here, go to my main page. You're going to find a thing which is called Merc Finder. Check that episode out. We'll talk a lot about how it works, and if you happen to buy it, then well done. If you can't, then you'll be pretty much like everybody else. If not, I advise you to go through my list of episodes that I actually talk about other ways you can approach the Merc tournament and the Merc trade tournament. So go down and take a look at it. Look at those episodes there. I speak about a lot of different things, so take a look at it. If not, you can go back to my pretty much do it your own way, but that's up to you. This is something that we all is addressed to all of us. This is actually a big problem Total Battle has put forward, and it takes us all to be involved to make those major changes. I want to make sure to let you know, especially for those who are new and those who are old, you're well aware, this trade route tournament plays a big major part to us. It plays a big part because those mercs allows us to be able to compete harder for the Rise of the Ancient tournament, to be able to go against every other epic tournament that's in here. And so if you don't make a say or say anything about it, you're not going to be able to get the mercs you're used to. This tournament has become a lot harder than it was before. This tournament now is nowhere near what it was back in the past, and you're going to find it extremely challenging. So for those who happen to have the Finder, you're going to want to look it up. You might want to purchase it. If you're about to get it, go ahead and do it. I don't commend it, but if you don't do it, it becomes harder. It's just a lot more harder. There are strategies going to involve. I'm not going to talk about it in this episode. You can go back and look about my other episodes where I show you ways and methods to do this, to be able to hunt for Merc trade tournament areas easier, but though it's still very difficult. It's always going to be difficult, but there are methods of doing so. Say something about it, guys. Put a voice down below. put a comment down because it's going to help out a lot more, because it's going to make the rise of the tournaments a lot harder. It's going to make every tournament a lot more difficult, and you guys are going to make all the difference, because the more comments you put down below and the more things you want to say to the Facebook page, then Score Warriors will listen. Score Warriors will pay attention when there's more people complaining. But it takes everyone to be involved to make that happen. And unfortunately, this tournament has gone downhill. It has become a Farmville of a game now more than ever before, and it's really unfortunate because I've been playing about 4.5 years now, and even I can see a great shift. That this year for 2026 in March has been a great shift, and they're going to start losing players. In fact, they already start losing players already. I'm already seeing it down below, and a lot of people have been mentioning it to me on the comments down, and that it's really unfortunate to see that. Only for those who are new, who don't know these changes, don't really realize this small shift, a small change, but this small increment shift that Total Battle sees is actually a big changer in gameplay to us as players. And that is so unfortunate, really unfortunate to see. I will keep reviewing these changes as we constantly see it, because I don't think enough people are actually talking about these things. They're just letting it go and just talking about just the tutorial of the tournaments. It's not about the tutorials, it's about the changes that are implemented that Total Battle has done, making this tournament harder than it ever has before. And I'm going to keep reviewing all the tournaments from here on onwards, especially reflecting back to the newer ones, because you need to know the changes that happened that Total Battle has caused. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'm going to keep this short and simple, but leave a like, subscribe, put a comment down below. If you want to reach out to me, join me over Zoom, and I would love to have a collab with you, whatever you want to do. Besides that, I'll see you guys again in the next TBF episode. Bye now.